and welcome to ABC News Ghana. This is ABC Headlines. I am Khadija Isifu. Coming up in the headlines, President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to advance Ghana's development to a level that no subsequent government can reverse, warning his appointees against corruption. The Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed 78 charges against former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others over the alleged roles in the controversial revenue assurance contract between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. We have these and many more coming up. Streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at ABC News GH_. Now to the details. President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to advance Ghana's development to a level that no subsequent government can reverse. He referenced other countries facing ongoing conflict due to poor governance, stressing his commitment to protecting the achievements of his administration so that future governments cannot undo them. Speaking during a courtesy call by the Christian Council of Ghana at Jubilee House on Tuesday, November 18, President Mahama said his mission is to use the mandate Ghanaians have given him to move Ghana to a level where anybody who comes after cannot reverse the gains that have been made. The government is simultaneously pursuing several corruption-related cases involving officials of the previous administration while implementing measures aimed at stabilizing the economy.
To continue to have faith in our democracy, then we must show that the political elite is capable of governing accountably. Because by the time we went to the 2024 elections, most of our young people and our people were like, oh, even elections, it's a waste of time. You go and vote and people will just come and misuse our money. If we don't let our people believe that we can govern this country and govern it accountably and hold people to ransom who have misused government resources, then we can go the way other countries have gone. And that's why I said before the election, and I was misinterpreted, I said Ghana is not immune from coup d'etats. If the political class does not get its act together, it is possible that there could be a military coup or a civilian uprising. And civilian uprisings are worse than military coups because they end up in chaos and anarchy. If you look at what happened in Sri Lanka or somewhere, when the people had had enough, they overran the government, the prime minister ran away. They entered the prime minister's house, they were swimming in his swimming pool and opened his fridge and were drinking his drinks and eating his food. That is worse than a coup d'etat. And so for me, I said that my mission is to use the mandate Ghanaians have given me to move Ghana to a level where anybody who comes after cannot reverse the gains that we have done.
Meanwhile, President John Dramani Mahama has reaffirmed his commitment to what he described as Ghana's long-standing family and moral values, insisting that gender is determined at birth and that the family remains the foundation of the nation. Addressing leaders of the Christian Council of Ghana when they paid a courtesy call on him in Accra on Tuesday, November 18, President Mahama stated clearly that his position aligns with that of the Christian Council of Ghana on matters relating to family and social values.
That the bill was never submitted to the president for assent. So it was not submitted, and the president did not assent. And by the Constitution, any bill that is not assented to by the president before the expiration of the life of Parliament expires. And so it means that the bill has to be relayed in the House. The Speaker has given notice that he will allow it to be relayed. But if you want the position of my government, marriage is between man and woman. A person's gender is determined at birth. And then also that the family is the foundation of our nation. That is our position. And so there are no questions or equivocations about what we believe. I believe that we are completely aligned with the Christian Council in terms of your belief. And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever that have to be done. If the Parliament of the people of Ghana endorse the bill and vote on it and pass it, and it comes to me as president, I will sign it.
Still the meeting at the Jubilee House, the Christian Council of Ghana has called on President John Dramani Mahama to ensure the continuation and completion of the National Cathedral project, describing it as a unifying symbol of faith and an important national asset. The appeal was made by the Vice Chairman of the Council, Reverend Enoch Nina Thompson, during a courtesy call on the President at the Jubilee House. Reverend Thompson said the Council continues to affirm its belief in the vision and necessity of the National Cathedral. Acknowledging the nation's economic challenges, he said the Council still believes the project can be completed under a transparent, accountable and inclusive framework to serve future generations.
Number 3, advocacy for the construction of the National Cathedral. Your Excellency, the Christian Council of Ghana continues to affirm its belief in the vision and necessity of a national cathedral as a unifying symbol of faith, gratitude to God, and moral renewal for our nation. While we are aware of the prevailing economic difficulties, we believe that the cathedral's completion under a transparent, accountable, and inclusive framework would serve as a spiritual and cultural landmark for generations to come. Number 3.
Now, away from that, the Office of the Special Prosecutor has filed 78 charges against 8 individuals, including former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, over the alleged roles in the controversial revenue assurance contract between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. Those set to face prosecution include former GRA Commissioner Generals Dr. Amisha Dai Owusu-Amoah and Emmanuel Kofi Nti, as well as senior GRA officials Isaac Krentel and Kojo Damwa. Ernest Akori, a former technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, SML's owner Evans Edusei, and SML are also among the accused. The charges come after months of investigations by the OSP, which uncovered alleged corruption, abuse of office, and procurement breaches in the award and execution of the SML GRA contract. According to Special Prosecutor Kesi Ejebin, evidence gathered by his office point to criminal conduct by some officials during the negotiation, approval, and implementation of the contract. The charges include conspiracy to commit the criminal offense of directly or indirectly influencing the procurement process to obtain an unfair advantage in the award of the procurement contract. Meanwhile, Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, a company contracted by the Ghana Revenue Authority to provide transactional audit and revenue assurance services, has filed a formal petition with the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice. Administrative injustice, abuse of power, and violations of fair administrative process by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The petition submitted on Wednesday, November 12, 2025, accuses the OFSP and its lead investigator, Mr. Albert Akrugu, of conducting biased investigations, mishandling digital evidence, and intentionally disrupting SML's business operations. SML contends that these actions violate its constitutional rights, including protection of property and administrative fairness. According to the petition, the issue traced back to 2017 when operational failures in the West Blue system, then used by the Customs Division, led to significant revenue leakages. SML was subsequently engaged to address these deficiencies, successfully recovering over $1.35 million within the first 2 months of its assignment. The company alleges that personal animosity from Mr. Krugu, who previously worked with West Blue, motivated the OSP's raid on SML offices in Osu and Tema on June 10, 2025. The petition claims that the raid involved the destruction of servers, firewalls, and other critical infrastructure, along with dismantling of CCTV cameras systems, thereby obstructing potential evidence and causing operational harm. SML further alleges that the OSP report published following the investigation was biased, mischaracterizing the company and its founder while downplaying the systemic failures of West Blue. Now to the budget. The minority in Parliament has criticized the John Dramani Mahama administration for approving a $10.4 million tax waiver for Tata Consultancy Services Limited in connection with the implementation of the Integrated Tax Administration System project. Under the agreement, the government has exempted TCS from a 20% withholding tax and value-added tax on its income, a move aimed at offering financial relief to the company and facilitating the smooth rollout of the ITAS initiative. Minority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre, speaking on the floor of Parliament on Tuesday, November 18, 2025, questioned the credibility of the NDC government, arguing that it had previously opposed more than 40 tax waiver requests presented under the Akufo-Addo administration.
Our dissenting views is premised on principle. Speaker, last year, and I'm happy my friend, the minister, is here. In his other world, he was the minority leader. And I witnessed the passion with which he spoke against exemption generally. Back and forth, this House had to pass the exemption bill into law. And even at a point when we're bringing exemptions that were related to 1D, 1F, with the intention of creating jobs, 1D, 1F concept, creating jobs, tax waiver, our firm held the red flag, and it was all over the country. I don't know what has changed. So we are opposed, and ab initio, we have to make this point. We are opposed to this exemption, whooping volume of 10 million being given to Tata. We are opposed. Because the reasons are not far-fetched. We want to appeal to our colleagues. They should stay on principle. He had espoused this principle last year, and now he was then minority leader, now he's finance minister. One would have thought that he's empowered to ensure that his principle that he believed then will be put into force. Now he's picking and choosing. What is about Tata? He's bringing the exemption.
Attorney General and Minister of Justice Dr. Dominic Ayeni has defended the Economic and Organized Crime Office's decision to impose high bail conditions in major corruption and financial crime cases, especially those involving appointees of the previous administration. Dr. Ayeni was responding to questions from Habib Idrisu, Member of Parliament for Tolon and First Deputy Minority Whip, who sought clarification on the recent bail terms set by Yoko and whether alternative arrangements could be considered. Explaining the legal basis for Yoko's actions, Dr. Ayeni noted that the office, like all law enforcement bodies, operates under Article 14, Clause 4 of the Constitution, which permits the arrest and release of suspects either unconditionally or on reasonable terms that ensure they appear before the court. He rejected suggestions that the high bail conditions target former government officials, stressing that the requirements vary according to the nature of the alleged crime.
I've already made it abundantly clear that the Economic and Organized Crime Office and other law enforcement agencies under my ministry are not acting arbitrarily. Bail depends on the crime, the gravity of the crime. And so what we are seeing now is that the sums involved in the criminal investigations are very huge. And because they are very huge, if you set very low bail conditions in terms of the sums, the likelihood is that when the person, the suspect, escapes or is unavailable to stand trial, whatever you are able to extort in justification will not be able to offset the sum that is involved, the criminal liability that is involved. So, for instance, if you have a situation where the suspect is accused of, let's say, causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 1 billion Ghana cedis, or stealing in the sum of 31.1 million Ghana cedis, you cannot set bail terms that are, unjustifiably low. So it is the magnitude of the offenses we are dealing with that dictates that we set bails.
That's how we wrap up with the headlines this morning. For more news, visit our website at www.abcnewsgh.com and follow us on our socials at abcnewsgh_. ABC in the morning. What Abuna Mante comes up next. I am Khadija Isifu. Have a nice day.